Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Ought to Know Better. So we're in a position now where I didn't tell any of these guys that we were going live, so that's why they might look a bit surprised. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing?
Good.
Shalom, Matthew.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Excellent. We'll get an intro going, and then we'll get into some stuff.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Now then. So,
Calm down, Jimmy.
Hey up, behave. Wow, straight in with the comments. Evening, Michael.
Evening, Michael.
Hey,
Evening, Mark. Bremner's Ghosts along. And Luke Thompson's with us as well. Evening, lads. Feels good to stay up. Hope this summer's going to be a busy one. Well, it's looking like it already. We'll come on to that in a minute. First thing I want to cover, and I'm just going to bring a picture up here, is I slightly covered the Prediction League results in the B and C, and Stats has just said again, although I did correct him in the group chat, that he were taking second place behind the fans, but I'm afraid Stats.
Oh, look at that. Oh, shit.
2-1. The only one to take 5 points at the end. And do you know the difference between me and the fans is that they got the 6-0 drubbing absolutely spot on.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the 5 points difference.
Yeah.
I blamed a few of us because I had 1-1 on Sunday.
There's a few of us
was a realistic
weren't there?
You did. Yeah. Bren were lagging behind for a while. I mean, Smarty, to be fair to him, did improve because he finished 5th from bottom, but for 3/4 of the season was rock bottom, all on his own.
Can't rest. I was thrown to dogs, wasn't I? That was it. I was doomed.
You were gone at one point, like you
Trying to be
Norwich.
too positive, and then I thought, oh yeah, we're fucked. We're shit. Never mind. We'll lose. Let's start getting some points. Yeah.
So I think in terms of the last game, I think I spoke for nearly an hour and a half about that one, on and off, with a few technical glitches on that one. It was quite an interesting B&C, but to be fair, my head was scrambled anyway. So I'll just come around you guys and just off the back of the game and just off the back of the season overall, just a temperature check on how you're feeling. Stats, where's your head at the minute?
It's a very interesting question, and I was kind of thinking about this after the game on Sunday. I think it's more relief, the overriding emotion that we're still a Premier League club, because to me, I'm hoping lessons have been learned. I'm pleased that Radrizzani did the statement straight after the game, and they've got to be better next year. We should never have been in this position when we all kicked off at Old Trafford in August, but we were. Obviously, a lot of things went against us, suspensions, injuries, results as well. We lost Bielsa and then came Jesse Marsh. And I think it's just more relief because I didn't want to wake up on Monday morning back in the Championship. And it just gives us an opportunity just to take stock, reset, and start again in the summer. And I think, I know we're all probably going to agree with it, this summer's a massive summer for Leeds United. So, yeah, relief is the overriding emotion for me, really.
Okay, no, that's fair. Smarty, where are we at?
I suppose hindsight's a wonderful thing in it, but I always, even though it was started going bad, kind of from the off, really, didn't it? I always thought and hoped. In fact, no, I didn't hope. I just knew. I knew everything had turned out okay because Bielsa had sorted it out and everything had improved. Everything had get back to normal, and then of course it didn't get back to normal, and nothing improved. If only it got worse. So then, obviously, around the March time, everyone started to panic, including myself. I think I've just seen a couple of comments about, someone said you can't lock this season in a box. No, you can't, but we can kind of. We need to learn from everything that's gone on. whoever's at fault, like you say, people saying Bielsa's at fault for being stubborn and arrogant. People are saying board for not, investing when we needed to. I don't think we'll ever really know who was at fault. Really, you just kind of throw a blanket over a lot of them and just say you are at fault. You did this to us, you bastards. Don't ever do it again. But then, from a seasonal, sort of review sort of thing, it were absolutely shy. So we should lock it away and never see it ever again. But now I suppose you can kind of get closure. It's the end of an era. It's the end of the Bielsa era officially. I've been quite vociferous and quite judgy about Marsh, and I just think it's a good opportunity for a clean slate next season and just see what he's all about and give him the benefit of the doubt, I think.
Even though you've guaranteed us he's gone before Christmas.
Even though I still think he'll be sacked by Christmas. But we'll see. I've been wrong before.
Okay, fair enough. That's true. That's really true. Luke, where's your head at?
I was rough as fuck yesterday. So
Calling me surprised.
Calling me shocked.
Do you know what? After I go back to after the City game, I didn't even remember the score until the next day. I had to ask somebody what the score was. I was there and I didn't remember the score, but yeah, no, I certainly remember everything about Sunday, and I think probably the word I'll probably use is disbelief. I'd made my peace with going down into the Championship because I truly thought that we were in a position whereby, although I wanted to believe, I didn't realistically think we'd get out of that mess. I thought Burnley had the experience, they had the kinder of the two fixtures, shall we say, and yeah, I just didn't expect us. We were away in London, of all places, last day of the season, needing a result, and I just, although I'm an optimist and I do expect a lot from Leeds United quite often, I just didn't truly I'd made peace with going down. So I think waking up Monday rough as chuff didn't really help things, but it almost did. It made me, I don't know, it just made me happy. It's the happiest hangover I've ever had, I think. And so yeah, just pure disbelief, and yeah, it's just a case of rebuilding, not making those same mistakes twice now, and I'm quietly positive that we won't be in a similar position come this time next season.
Okay. That's a lot more positive than some people are in terms of next season.
Rough as chuff. That's a proper Yorkshire saying, isn't it? Rough as chuff. Slurping puddles. They were like, oh.
I was drinking fucking tequila at about 2:00 in the morning with some Argentinian girl who was my mate's girlfriend. Honestly, we were absolutely steaming.
Fair enough. So, Carl, do you remember joining us and getting on the bus?
You see, I kind of do. And I'm afraid to watch it back. Yeah, no, I was in Toast watching it with a couple of lads, and that place went absolutely bonkers. And I thought we played relatively well against a Brentford team that didn't really look at the races compared to what they've been kind of looking like. I know they didn't finish that high ahead of us or anything like that, but I think
with 11 men or even 10.
Or even 10 or 9. But it was
I said they didn't finish with 11 men or even 10.
Yeah.
Good point.
I just look, I'm happy that we stayed up. I'm not convinced by Jesse Marsh. I, like Smarty said, give him the benefit of the doubt, but I also agree with them in thinking that he'll be gone by Christmas. Like, I genuinely, the one fear I have going into the summer is that we give him loads of cash and then he buys garbage. That's my only fear going into the summer. With Bielsa, at least he was particular about who he wanted. I think it might be a bit of a scattergun approach with this, and I don't think that will help us. But that's worst case scenario, I think. But that's one of my biggest fears going into the summer. I'm happy about Sunday. I'm delighted we stayed up, but that's just a fear I have now.
It's understandable.
So that's just a generalised fear, though, isn't it? That's just we know how specific our previous club manager was, and therefore this person's probably not going to be quite so particular. But at the same point, that does open up avenues that Bielsa just would not even entertain, even if that would have increased the squad depth and not necessarily strengthened the first 11. So I think from that, I guess that's fair. But what's not fair is having that trepidation before he's even made one signing.
Yeah, but
Isn't that a bit unfair?
Aronson was coming already if we stayed up, so he's not classed as one of his signings.
Who?
And
I think he means Aronson, doesn't he?
Aronson.
He's a distant relative of Mumpai, I think.
Yeah.
Mumpai.
Yeah, Hester's nephew, Aronson. Hester Aronson.
So yeah, I've done it again. But like, there's talk of another American lad as well who has a good relationship with Jesse coming over. I'm not even going to attempt his name because I can't even remember it. But
Tyler Adams.
Is it him? Is it? Right, yeah. I don't know much about him. Maybe he's a good
That's
player.
not that difficult to say, Carl.
Yeah, but I didn't know who it was. I couldn't remember. That's why I said I wouldn't chance it, just in case I got it arseways, you know. But yeah, look, I'm happy we stayed up. I'm not being negative or anything like that. We'll see how the summer goes.
Kind of sounds like you are.
I'm not being negative. I'm delighted that we stayed up.
That you're happy, Carl.
I really am delighted we stayed up. We'll see what the summer says, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And I'll go from there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Pre-season anxieties kicked in for Carl day after the old one's finished. Okay, no.
I was contemplating saying just when you were doing the league there that I'll start giving predictions next season. It couldn't get any fucking worse than what it was. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I might finish higher up the table. But we'll see.
I mean, what's really strange about that is, I mentioned around the fans and the wisdom of crowds is that they've finished on literally double your points tally, and your predictions has been everybody else is aggregated. So it doesn't really add up. That so I think I think people have gone out of their way to screw you over.
Possibly, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Carl in Hogs with Podge. Say hello to the lads for me. Jimmy says hello. He's in the pub.
All right, Jimmy.
Podge. Yeah. Right, Jimmy. Hi, Podge.
I knew we'd need a fellow Irishman to interpret what that actually did say.
You can't say
Tyler Adams.
You can't say Tyler Adams, but you can decipher fucking the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. I could do that. Jesus Christ, that's easy. Anyway, carry on.
There we go. For those who don't know, Jay is currently being tied to a stag in Ibiza. And also slurping strawberry daiquiri through cock straws.
While having a great time.
Well, having a great time is the lad.
Yeah.
Have a good one, mate.
You can come on, couldn't he? Got Wi-Fi.
There's no need to call him that.
Part-timer.
I guess
drunk ramblings on here.
I guess just to touch on some of the stuff, to extend a little bit on what Carl was just saying there. Instantly, Twitter just went. We had a day, maybe a day and a half, just of positivity, and then all of a sudden it was, shit, all of the players are gone. They're just gone. Everybody's just going to take all of our players off us. I think we're now in a position of strength. We're not in that position that we were. Yeah, when Robbo and Lennon and the rest we were just getting asset stripped by clubs that could afford the wages that we couldn't. We're not there anymore. That's just not. that's not the situation. I think now that we're in that position of strength to offer Premier League football, that's the position of strength that means that we're at least able to bargain and hold out for the right amounts for the players that we want to retain or that we know that are going to move on. So I guess I'll go the other way around this time. So Carl's being overly negative, so I'll just skip him though and come to you, Luke.
Yeah.
The crown jewels. We're looking at Calvin, we're looking at Rafinha. Given that we're in a situation where we're able to offer him Premier League football now, and we're already seeing links with Barca and City and whatever else is coming, what do you rate our chances of retaining their services for next season?
I think I'm more optimistic about us keeping hold of Calvin, just simply because he's a Leeds lad. We give him a better improved contract now. I think there's a real chance that Calvin may stay. Rafinha, I think he's gone. I'll be honest with you. Even if he doesn't go to Barcelona, which quite obviously is his preferred destination, because I know they're pretty skint. There's going to be potentially a bidding war, and you've got your likes of Newcastle probably get involved in that as well, who can probably offer what he's worth in this market. And what is he worth? I mean, it's debatable. He's not been great this season, but we have seen in patches how great he is. And he's ultimately been probably our the reason we have stayed in the Premier League. I think if we'd have had Helder Costa on that wing, we'd have been down a long time ago. So look, yeah, I think with Rafinha, he's obviously got bigger aspirations. He's starting for Brazil. He's going to be going to the World Cup and playing for Brazil. And he's got no allegiance to Leeds. And I think we're probably more likely to lose his services than we are Calvin's. I've a real. I don't know if I'm thinking with my heart here rather than my head, but I've got a real. I suppose it's what promises he's made as well in terms of contract and strengthening this summer. But I think Calvin might give us another year.
Okay, no, that's fair. So, Smarty, come to you then. From a position of strengthening. So I think we talked about crown jewels. There might be some. We might end up in a situation where we do lose those players, but we're going to command big fees for them if we do. So from a perspective of extending out the squad, where do you think is the most important element to strengthen?
Well, it's got to be centre mid, hasn't it? It's got to be, and a striker, 100%.
That's two.
Right, fair enough. I'll go centre mid because from the appearances of Joffrey and Greenwood, I've been quite impressed with. So if it were one position only, it'd be centre mid for me. But hopefully someone's makes a absolutely outstanding offer for Rodrigo. Hopefully,
I just want to say,
especially if the Aronson's deal's done. Because I mean, he's a 10, isn't he, by all accounts. So I mean, realistically, just to add it, it's an 8, isn't it? That suggesting Calvin stays. It's somebody who can play bang in the middle and do a bit of everything, box to box type player. He
does do the 8 as well, Aronson, doesn't he? He does the 8 and the 10, doesn't he?
Right. I just hope that we don't bolster the team enough with too many players that like to play in the middle, that we don't lose us with, because as we all know, we've been more effective this last season now, playing with more width. We've done better against teams playing with Rafinha at right wing, Harrison at left wing. I don't want to revert back to playing in the middle and ping-ponging the fucking ball around, because it just goes to absolute rat shit then. So yes, strengthen in the middle, but don't play too much football straight down the middle for me.
No, that's fair. Stats.
Yes.
As we look to add players, strengthen the squad, and so on, from a perspective of the penis formation and the width that Smarty's just talked about, and what we've seen so far, what do you think will be the target setup next season? Where do you think we'll go? We're overloaded really with centre backs if everybody's fit.
Yeah.
Will we let some go, or do you think we'll try and play 3? Where do you see that going?
I think starting sort of back to front. Do we need a backup for Meslier? Possibly. I've not seen enough of class. I know I've seen him in the reserve games, and it's different pressure in the reserve games because you've not got the Premier League pressure on the back of that. Left back, maybe. I thought Firpo had a really good game on Sunday. To be honest, he's slowly coming to his own after a bit of a slow start.
Now, just before we get carried away slightly on that, I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah.
But that ball that got sent out to right wing when nobody could see that there was somebody there on the right wing, it got done all ends up.
Yes, it did.
Any improvement's a great improvement on absolute shite, though, isn't it? Let's be fucking honest.
Are you saying that a third has been polished slightly there?
It's not just polished.
Rolled in glitter.
Because
that's a unicorn
before
shit.
It got to the glitter, the turd had rolled around in a hair in the barbershop when it was found, and then it had to be cleaned and sterilised. I don't think we've got to that bit yet. I think flying around in the hair.
That's a heavy image, like.
Hey, if you watch the highlights back, Fair point. I had a relatively good game, man.
He did have a
honestly.
good
No,
game.
he did. He genuinely did. He just had that one thing where he were done all ends up.
But I don't want to get into a position where we were, a few games ago when Marsh came in and Rodrigo all of a sudden looked like he's absolutely world class player worth £30 million. Let's buy him for £30 million. Oh no, he's actually worth fuck all because he's shit. But whatever. Fuck Firpo, fuck Rodrigo.
Right, thanks for that, Smarty. Stats?
Right. Anyway,
carry on with what you think formation's going to be.
Yeah. We've all seen that he's not keen on width, is he, Jesse Marsh? He likes to play very narrow. Now, that does certainly... And the question about Dan James actually got sent off, didn't he, against Chelsea the other week, which won him out the last 3 games of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how he does, Jesse Marsh, in the summer. He needs backing, we know that. He needs a full transfer window. It's very difficult to judge. Look, we all love Bielsa, didn't we? And for what he did at the football club and whether it was right or wrong that he eventually left the football club back in February. My worry with Marsh is if we're, say, 16th come October time, do the board then panic again and do what they did with Bielsa? I don't know. I think it's such an important summer, Gilly, that they have to get it right with the right players, the right tactics, the right formation. They need to look at the injury situation with obviously players like Luke Haley, Stuart Dallas, Forshaw. Don't know when he's going to be back. If he's going to be back for start pre-season. And the biggest elephant in the room is Patrick Bamford. He's not, 8 games last season for year number 9. He's not allegedly what you need when you're in a relegation battle. And obviously when the news came through that Bamford had COVID at the weekend, I think everyone's heart just skipped a beat again, thinking how much bad luck can one player get. Now, we're rumoured to be in for a Premier League striker that nobody knows about at the moment. No names have been mentioned, so I think that could be important. But I also think the players coming through, you look at Sam Greenwood's performance on Sunday, I thought it was exceptional for his first ever Premier League start. We all know what Joffrey can do, and he's proved that this in the second half of the season with some important goals, also going against Norwich and the setup against Brighton. So that there is scope there, but what we can't do is go into the new campaign in 2023 with a smaller squad. If players do go, it has to be reinvested because we can't be in this position again in 12 months' time.
No, that's
I don't know if Mark Edison's aware that his Capitals lock is stuck on.
Stop shouting at us, Mark. Can't hear you anyway.
So I don't think Pope from Burnley is one, necessarily the right choice, and 2, ever going to happen, because he's going to want to be number 1 wherever he signs for, and he's good enough to do that. But he's not going to oust Meslier. So is he going to come in and sit on a bench?
I think,
and if he did come in and play, Melier's going to then move. He's not going to stick around. He's going to want to play as well. So I think, we've talked before about having an older head, somebody that's potentially looking to get into coaching but still capable of doing the job.
What about Scott Carson?
Fraser Foster.
Someone like that. Somebody, somebody like that. We talked about
Kiko Casilla
and we talked about Green and Hart previously, and being of that mould, able to step in and deputise when needed. But we know that Meslier is going to play when he's fit and available. So,
can I ask you a question, chaps? If you could take a player from each team that's gone down, who would you have from each team?
For fuck's sake, Smarty.
Who's hosting this shit, Smarty? Keep your fucking beak out.
It's fine. It's done now.
I'd take Scott McNeil, is it, from Burnley?
Dwight McGale,
even.
Dwight McNeil.
Dwight
McDale.
Or whatever the fuck. He
Dwight
got it wrong as
McNeil.
well. Don't be
The one that,
now.
yeah, he did.
You're rubbing
The
off
one that
on me.
accused Alioski
Get
of
away.
racism because he pulled a face at him. That one.
Yeah. I'd
right,
take him from Burnley.
Fuck that.
Well, who would you take from Burnley?
Cornet.
Cornet. What a brain fart that was. Fucking hell.
His name's not Cornetto, Carl. Cornet.
I'll see myself out, lads. Don't worry about it. Fuck me.
There's Sarr and Dennis from Watford, isn't there?
I wouldn't have that Sarr. I think he's shite.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, and then there's obviously Pope at Burnley as well, isn't there? But
there's that.
Max Aarons.
There's a South American lad that scored an absolute banger for Watford.
Caucho Hernandez.
Say that again.
Caucho Hernandez.
All right, okay. Yeah, him.
Or to you, Sofa Fernandez.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. That's a good one.
Dave.
Nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sofa guy.
But from Norwich, it's got to be that Norman, that centre midfielder, hasn't it?
Do you know, I would try to think of one at Norwich. I'm really struggling.
Is it German or Austrian or something to start?
Roop.
Huh?
Is it Roop?
No man or whatever he's called.
Runanuman.
That's him, yeah.
Matthias.
Sorry, Matthias.
I thought it was Matthias.
I'm thinking of another Norman. Would you not take Pookie?
No.
He's already failed, hasn't he?
Maybe Max Aarons, but he's a little dickhead as well.
I don't
Yeah,
mind
he
my
is.
parents, but yeah,
But he's a dickhead.
I'd take him, but
Here,
I
look,
won't pay good money for him.
You're missing the only Leeds lad in that Norwich team. Would you take Byron back as an understudy? Would you?
No
To
chance.
drama.
We didn't
and
miss
everything.
him. We just didn't mention him.
You can go fuck off.
But having
Yeah.
said that, there has been a lot of talk, and I've had a bit of stick
Right,
for
Here
this.
we go. Feed you fucking
Charlie
hand.
Taylor.
No.
Nope.
Not good enough.
Refused to play for us, the little snake.
Any ex
So many people out there. In fact, I wonder if Mark's going to start shouting. In fact, he's just said his
Charlie
name.
Taylor has
Look,
just fucking said it.
he wants it. He
Go
wants
on,
it.
Mark.
He's not in sick note 6 and he was injured. Well, why did he get fined 2 weeks' wages then? He wouldn't have had any of that if he were actually injured, would he? No, I'm not having any of it. He can get in bin.
Nah,
Not
fuck
for
him.
me. Not for me.
Fuck him.
And I don't think he's good enough. So
Well,
he can
yeah.
get in bin anyway.
If he were that good, he wouldn't have got relegated.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, starts to be
That's-
some good players relegated,
Yeah.
mate.
That's true.
He's got his Captain Obvious hat on.
Any chance you can tell us how many goals were scored from Charlie Taylor's left-hand side there that he was defending, and see how bad he actually is?
Too many.
I can tell you that he's never scored a goal for them, and he's had, I think, 6 assists in 130 odd games.
Never scored.
Jesus.
What a fucking shagger.
Fucking hell.
No,
He's a true
never
serpent,
scored
isn't he?
and 6 assists.
He scored for us,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Watford, would you take Sissoko?
I'd rather have Dennis.
God alive.
No, I
I'd rather
know,
have
but
the sofa guy.
the Sofa King.
Yeah, him. I'd rather have him than your man.
It's one of them conversations where it's like, would you rather
reckon we're
take a
getting-
slapping face or a kicking balls in it? The championship. Oh, fucking.
Do you reckon we get the sofa guy on 0% interest over 5 years, Carl?
I don't know if DFS still have that sale on. We might get lucky. Fucking going on for years.
So I'm working my way up the table then. So Everton.
Oh, Christ.
Gilfy.
Fucking hell.
Keep having behind bars.
To run fucking
Mean
Newcastle,
machine.
like.
Mean machine.
You can take 118. Jesus, what?
Demarai Gray started well.
Mari Gray.
Yeah.
Demarai Gray would be good if we got, if we lost our finger.
that was a deal they did, wasn't it? It was only like 1.2 million or something to pay.
Dina, left back. He's
Good
gone,
shout.
and didn't he go to somebody? Didn't he at Villa?
He was at Villa, but he was only
I
on
don't wanna
loan.
take anyone from a shit team like Everton or fucking Burnley or Norwich or Watford. Any of
Your
their
question?
Eh? Not Everton. Anyone? I said if you.
You
Oh,
said
right
from
on,
each
but
club,
what-
didn't you?
No, each club from the bottom three.
I won't take anyone out of the fucking defence, man. We've got a fucking woeful defence as it is now, man. Taking some other people's dross off them. Fuck me.
The Cooper bashing is coming again from
No,
Smart.
not Cooper. Not Cooper. Cooper's been our best fucking defender this year.
And we've actually
Half a
missed him
game.
when he hasn't played, Smarts.
He's only played half a game, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Firpo, he is the fucking sieve, isn't he? He's a ghost, he's that fucker.
Honest to God. He got
Doesn't really
megged like he
exist.
was.
What about Anthony Gordon?
Yeah.
He done all right, you know. He was pretty good, to be fair, yeah. But that's it.
I don't like his
potential,
antics.
Yeah.
Bit of a
Makalenko.
diver. Who?
Makalenko, the Ukrainian.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, that's
Done
it.
well
That
over
is a good
season.
show.
Well, half a season.
Okay.
That's about it from Everton.
Who,
Isn't it?
who would you rather have as a GP, Sweeney Todd or fucking Harold Shipman? Fucking hell! What a conversation this is turning.
Moving on. Southampton.
Oh wow!
God. I don't even know.
JWP easy.
Yeah.
Is
all
it?
that.
Or
Or the
Walker
centre back.
Peters?
Yeah, Walker Peters. Sorry, the left back.
If we
Liverpool
lose,
man
if we lose Calvin, then it's got to be James
Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. But he can't play football. The only reason anybody wants him is because he takes a good free kick. He's not a good footballer.
Yeah, but look how many he's gotten already.
We've had one of them.
He's already gotten more free kicks in the Premier League than David Beckham.
No.
Already, and he's he on the scene?
But
he's
you can't just bring him on for free kicks. It's not American football.
Yeah, but if we get fouled enough in the right places, just fucking, we'd actually have if Raf left, a dead ball specialist, and that's not a bad thing to have in your team, really, is it?
Here's one for you, Gillett.
Okay.
Can I get a shout on?
Pipes. Evening, lads. Can I get a shout out to our newest Leeds fan, hosting a family from Ukraine and their 6-year-old son, Timo, watched the game with us on Sunday. Now a massive Leeds fan matching on together. Good lad. Get him in.
Good lad.
Timo.
Go on, Teamer.
Welcome to the madhouse.
You're going to love it.
Right. Villa.
Fucking fuck.
Who'd you have?
I'd have had Coutinho for 18 fucking million. That's what I'd have had. Fuck's
Why does
sake.
it look like you're auditioning? Why did that look like you're auditioning for a part in the dirty little seedy Irish drama? It was some real conviction.
But I'd have had him for fucking 18 million. I would have.
Gail Platt goes Irish.
Gail Platt joins Derry Girls.
Oh, here. Fucking hell.
Fucking chef.
All right, yeah. Okay, yeah. Coutinho. I'd have had him 18 million. How did we miss that one? Let's be honest.
We haven't got 150 grand a week to pay for his wage.
Yeah, but
You'd go Buendia.
Buendia.
Do you know what? I quite rated that Ramsey against us.
Jakey Ramsey.
Yeah.
I thought he played well. And it's still a young player as well. So he's not really been tainted by Dean Smith's time at Villa. So yeah. So there's actually
Martinez.
I like McGinn. He's a right player. We've lost Gilly.
Have we lost Gilly?
We've lost him to the gods.
Yeah, you did.
He's back.
Back now, I think.
He's back.
Yeah.
Mings after that block.
There we go.
Mings after that block.
Yeah.
Would anyone take Mings?
No.
No. I'd take him for a pie after that block.
That season, we've got a lot to be thankful for at Tyrone Mings.
We have.
God rest it.
This one might be an obvious one.
Ed.
I suppose there's probably two. Brentford.
Oh, fucking hell.
Christian Eriksen, next.
Pontus Janssen. But he's a good player.
I'd probably take Ivan Toney or Mbuemo.
I'm going to say it's Tony or Eriksen for me. And Buemo's quick, but and we saw what he did to Firpo, and we know Firpo's quality.
What about that fullback that they have that was mad good in the championship, and he got injured?
Henry.
Yeah, I'd have him. He's a quality defender, and he's
nobody going Canos.
Would you fuck off?
I hate him.
I would rather sincerely have a bath with my father than sign that blonde-haired little straight up.
Oh, this program's turned.
Oh, fucking hell. We're never doing a poll again. We're just going to...
Moving on. Moving on. Palace.
Even though Gallagher isn't one of their players,
he's got to be Gallagher.
What's the young lad called? Eze.
Eze's a baller.
What about
I'd want Gallagher?
Elise.
Elise, man.
Elise or Eze, one of them two.
That Guay, he looks decent. I don't know how you say his name.
Guay is.
It might be. I don't know. Nobody's going for Wolf.
No.
Dirty little scummer.
No.
Exactly. Good.
Yep.
So next is Newcastle.
That Guimarães.
Yeah, Guimarães has looked good. I
Maximum.
mean, I think until he joined it with ASM, wasn't it? Everybody would have gone ASM.
Yeah.
But I think that Guimarães has had a cracking start up there. He's done really well. And he's come in as a defensive centre mid and he's scored 3 goals and set up another 3 or something mad.
Yeah, he's had a great second half.
What about Chris Wood?
Refused to play for
25.
He can get in alongside Charlie Taylor. But do you know what? He's come out and refuted it. And when you read it, he reckons that Burnley had insisted on it being part of the deal, that he didn't play that last game of the season. Now, you don't know whether to believe that or not. Charlie Taylor can get him bin still.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Jean Martino.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Joe.
Not Neves?
The other no, not Neves. The other one. What's the other Portuguese lad who scored? Neto.
Yeah. There's a couple in there midfield you could take happily enough, wouldn't you? They've got.
You've not got Jimenez.
Well, we're going to need some because according to Twitter today, half of his team's leaving us.
Yeah. Well, our forward line is anyway. Yeah.
Is Adama not still a Wolves player? Technically,
no, he's Barca.
Did you see that assist he got there?
On loan?
I thought it was permanent, wasn't it?
I thought they
was it?
I think it's permanent.
Ah, right.
Did anyone see that assist?
Anyway. Yeah, I think I put it in group, didn't I?
Oh, did you? Yeah. If
it's a brilliant cutback. He really picked out that man well.
That's absolutely fantastic. It's a shame he couldn't do it down the other end of the pitch.
He's just a roided Hadi Sacco. They finally made him square it.
Square it,
Gets oiled up before he comes on pitch. What a legend.
That's it, yeah. Bit of baby oil. Brighton.
Cucurella.
Yes, absolutely. Not Dunk.
No, agree.
Not Dunk. No,
apparently,
not
I saw a tweet today saying Cucurella had agreed terms with City.
Yeah, but we've
a 5-year deal. But this again,
that was the same account that said that Calvin would go in there for 35 million.
35 million, that's
exactly. Yeah, so same time. Like,
have a word with you said.
What
about Moon Pie, Carl?
Yeah, what about Moon Pie?
He can go and get shite. I don't like that. Like, no, just no.
Okay. Not Trossard. I think Luke, you were saying you rated Trossard when we played.
Yeah, Alexi, what's his name?
McAllister.
Yeah, I'd take him. He's a nice, tidy little player.
Okay, Luke, thanks very much for your input there.
Yeah, I think Trossard's decent, but yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I think I'd still go Cucurella or Lamptey if I had to pick.
Oh, Lamptey, yeah.
Lamptey's another good shout.
To be fair, yeah. Not bad at all.
That is a good shout. Leicester.
Tielemans.
James Maddison.
Tielemans is linked with Arsenal.
Barnes.
I don't care what anyone says. I'd have Vardy in a heartbeat, me.
Barnes just to stop him scoring.
It's about 48.
So what?
No, I fully agree. I would as well.
We could do with Vardy's misses in with all wags anyway. Couldn't we start selling stories?
Squaring him up, dragging him around in fucking all hospitality.
She's a right piece of work, isn't she?
Yeah. Have you read that court case?
Mad shit, like.
Yeah, mental. What a fucking absolute bag.
So we've had Vardy, Barnes, Maddison, and Tielemans. I think we got out of all of that. Is that about? Did I miss anybody? I couldn't have Dewsbury. All looks decent, but I couldn't have him because it sounds like it should be
called Dewsbury. Why wouldn't
it?
Everyone knows that.
There's no need for that.
Imagine if you did a shirt signing at Dewsbury Town Hall. Dewsbury Hall is it? Dewsbury Town Hall. Signing his book.
The higher society reside in Dewsbury, don't you know?
So when Lookman signed for him, we all went, "Oh, I wish we'd got him," and nobody's mentioned him.
No. Look, man.
Not fancy that?
Look, man, we don't want to talk about it, chat.
Hey!
Okay, moving on. West Ham. I think I might know this one.
Declan Rice. If Calvin goes.
Well, if Calvin went, you'd pick Rice. But no, I think for me, it might be Bowen.
I was just going to say Bowen, 100%.
We were linked with him when he was at Hull, weren't we?
I don't know why we didn't buy him then.
Because
But as Carl points
Because
out, we
West
were
Ham
on the
did.
verge of signing Barnes.
Yeah.
Missed out on that one as well.
Did he come on loan to us for a period?
no.
Who?
No,
I'll be
I
back.
think it was going to, wasn't he?
Oh, is
Yeah.
that it? Yeah.
We'd actually done he'd been given a squad number and everything was done and dusted, and then Leicester came in and that was that.
What about Ben
Check,
Rama?
that's a shout.
Yeah, Russ gives us a good one there. Suchek, man,
Suchek,
that's
yeah.
a great shout.
Great shout.
Him and Calvin in the middle of the park would be absolute dynamite, man.
But then we go back to two pivots, Carl, which is what we don't want to be seeing.
Yeah, but we're going to be seeing that, aren't we? We have to accept that. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
In the
Well,
Peters
that's-
formation, we might.
Oozing
Yeah.
out of Paul. Paul? What me? Cal?
Sorry. Did
Oh.
you just get my name wrong?
I don't even know what I called you Paul.
How long have we been doing this now?
I don't even know.
It's
I'm
like-
gonna have to change your name now, aren't I?
Like,
Sorry.
the thing is, I'd understand if you got us mixed up between any one of us, but a dude that's not even here, like.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's okay. So you were about to take the piss out of me there before you ruined it for yourself. Go on.
It's not funny anymore.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Would any of us take a scummer?
Paul.
Uh,
Sorry, Cal. It's really childish of me. I'll change it back.
Anyone take a scum?
yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm not
Just
sure
said
there's
that's
anybody that
fantastic.
deserves
That's is
to
really
play for Leeds
struggling
in
with
that
this
club.
one.
They've had such a shocking season.
Would
Did anyone
you
see the
not-
BBC thing from today?
Man, you are rubbish.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
That was class.
Apparently, it was a trainee that were learning how to do the ticker and didn't realise it were live.
Quality. Nice.
Oh,
Probably didn't have a ticker at the end of that.
Surely we'd all go Maguire.
why? So we can ridicule him in our own team? No. It's way more fun.
I'd take Cavani.
I was going to say Cavani.
And another dinosaur that Carl would be open off to, to vets for cremating and stuff like that because he doesn't like people over 30, does he? Ageist bastard.
Well, look at what's happened to Dallas now. He's fucking broken his leg. He's over 30. You know what I mean? Now, don't give me that shite. I was right. Look at the
Alien
state
as
of
well.
Ailing.
Alien's had to have an
Ailing.
operation.
As well. Come
They're all
on.
getting
Come on, lads.
operated.
Getting fed up with this shit.
But didn't everybody want Donny van de Beek?
Yeah.
Never.
Was
I-
a few,
I
all
never
right,
said it.
yeah. I didn't, personally.
I don't think any of us did.
No, I don't think
It'd
any
be
of us
better than
did.
nothing.
I mean, to
It
be
was
fair,
better than the
we
player we
wanted
did sign.
someone in the door. So it might have been I'd take him if it means there is absolutely no other chance of getting anybody else. We'd have him as a body in, but I don't think anybody really wanted him.
Well, we nearly down to sticking mannequins in middle of the field, weren't we? Let's be honest.
Luke says only one from Scum would be Ten Hag, so that basically wants the manager already.
Arsenal? Now, Carl and I went on a podcast on which were some fans of other clubs. One of which was an Arsenal fan, and his head fell off when Carl and I told him we wouldn't take anybody from the side.
And he just goes, nobody, and we were like, no.
Nah. He went, not even Saka, and we went, well.
He wasn't where
He
he's
wasn't
at
there
now.
He might want there then.
Because he's Calvin's mate, out of sympathy. Yeah,
It was at the end of last season. So
really?
Ben White wasn't there then, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd been properly
So
shocking
he's
as
not let
well.
our country down at that point either.
No,
forgotten about that
nobody
part.
let the country down at that point.
No, I forgot about that pod, man. That was fucking hilarious. Your man's face was brilliant. It just went from, so who would you have? And I went, no one. And he went,
Nah.
I'll throw
And it
one
were
at
both
you.
of us at once as well.
yeah.
So what about that Leeds legend?
Emile Smith-Rowe!
Hey,
Smith
throw day.
Got us promoted along with COVID.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
We've got some good players, but like
League legend.
they should be. I mean, you look at the money they spent on people like what's the winger called? Pepe and,
Yeah,
and
70 million,
and
that
others.
wasn't it? 75 million or something.
Yeah,
Fucking
and
easy,
others,
yeah.
and you just think,
Yeah.
and they still finish fucking fifth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I might take Odegaard.
Oh, I was just going to say
Yes.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a good show.
He's
or the keeper,
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
Ram.
Probably their best player.
Ram.
Spurs.
Son.
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 Straight away.
100% Son. He's a
Son.
little
Moving
magician.
on. Easiest one of the pod, I think.
Yeah. without a
Chelsea.
Jorginho.
No.
Really?
not for me.
James.
Good job.
Love your stats.
Yeah, Reece James.
Reece James, yeah.
Chelsea.
Ben Chilwell when he's fully fit.
Come on.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah,
got to
well,
say it. Someone's got to say it. So you might as well just say it.
Go on,
So
then.
You want Mason Mount, Smarty?
Yeah.
All right, and Kante.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Kante's a
unbelievable.
legend.
What's the
Reece
American lad?
James.
Reece James.
Reece James, go on.
Got-
That's
got
is
his-
that starring John Travolta?
Oh, he got into bother over there, didn't he?
Yeah.
There'll be no summer loving.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No Werner? No Havertz?
No.
Not having any of that?
Lukaku.
No.
Nah.
I'd
Liverpool.
rather have Ryan Edmondson than Lukaku.
If anybody says Henderson, I'm actually literally, even if you're joking, I'm going to
I
call
would take
out with you.
Henderson. I would take
Fuck off.
Henderson.
Fuck right
You
off.
you might need someone's bum
Whoa,
on
hold
the bench to warm it up for an actual football player. That's what I'm thinking.
Who
All
said
right, cheers,
Henderson?
John. Nice one, mate. See you in a bit. That'd be it.
I think realistically, it'd have to be that new guy they've signed for me, that Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks handful, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a speedy man. Yeah. But
I mean,
Salah's
realistically, it's not realistic at all because we're never going to sign him. I think if we're
No,
being realistic,
no.
it's more like Minamino or somebody like that. But
Salah's on a free in the summer.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is just absolute. He's an
He
absolute
might
Milner.
look for a new
already.
challenge. You never know.
The romantic in me is James Milner,
Ugh.
he'd still do a job of next season for us.
but it'll never happen.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Uh,
No, I think it would do a job.
Carl would have him put down before he'd even got in through the door.
Not Milner. Not Milner. No. I'd let him play for a little while, just to see him in a Leeds shirt again in the Premier League.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
I'm
Trent
having that
Alexander-Arnold
first
for
game of
me.
the season next
100%.
season, and he's
Not Van Dijk?
captain.
Not Van Dijk. Trent, 100% for me.
Andy Robertson.
No.
What a
You know,
what's your man?
Harvey Elliott, big future.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. He's gonna be.
He's
class.
going to be a good player.
Curtis
Well,
Jones
he's a
is-
good player.
Curtis
He's-
Jones was.
he's-
doing
His
all
ankles
right as
aren't
well.
that strong. No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fairly brittle.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's really transparent about it. When somebody gets sent off for it, he comes out and went, "Well, that
He
was a
said
mistake.
it-
He
yeah.
shouldn't have been sent off."
Yeah.
You know, he's not.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not like Klopp. You know, he was fairly straightforward and honest.
Didn't the FA ask him to take that comment down because it
Not surprised.
it put them it put it into disrepute,
Jeopardise
was
their
it?
operation.
Because they had given one decision and he said it wasn't a foul, so he was asked to take it down by the FA and the Premier League.
Get it right, you useless bastards.
Hey,
Not you.
Oh.
I was saying to them, get it right, and then you won't have to deal with that.
right, yeah.
Nobody's mentioned Sané. Nobody's mentioned Mane or Jota.
No, I think there's better.
Fair
They are
enough.
good players.
And
But
Jota.
last but not least,
Yeah.
Man City.
man, shitty.
I'd take
Foden.
Jesus because he's not happy there.
Yeah, but he's not that good, though,
Realistically.
is he? There's better
If you,
players.
could, if you could sign any of their players, you
Go
would
for-
be...
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
what I mean,
Realistically, we're talking, isn't it?
No,
Realistically,
we're
Foden
not.
or the Gundogan.
Realistically.
anyone. Okay, anyone.
Realistically, we're just going to have our choice of Liverpool's players. Come on, Carl.
I thought
There's
we'd
only-
take
there's only
the
one.
Liverpool, like.
Yeah,
KDB.
no.
But
It's-
Jesus
It's
is looking to
KDB or
get out this
Foden for me.
summer.
I'm not sure which one I'd go with. It's. No. To be fair, I'm changing my answer because Haaland's signing, and I'd have him.
He was born in Leeds. Well, he was conceived in Leeds.
There you go. Yeah.
How do you know? We're watching.
I don't understand how anyone can't be going for Kevin De Bruyne, to be fair, but, whatever. De Bruyne is just a fucking
No, I
king.
said to start with it's De Bruyne or Foden for me, but then I changed that to Haaland.
Gundogan. Quality.
Gundog.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
They've got absolute quality everywhere, haven't they? Wankers.
They do.
They
Yeah,
have.
That's the issue.
too
like.
good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so out of all of that, one player, you're one player out of the rest of the league, who would you go for?
Who
Well,
that
if
we
we could
can,
sign
I think
anyone.
we might sign.
If you could sign anybody from the Premier League, anybody at all, what's your name?
I've already made my mind up.
I think De Bruyne for me.
100%.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Not Son?
Oh, well, I tell you what, because he said De Bruyne, I'm going to go with Son.
And if we're not allowed to say somebody else's, I'd probably go Declan Rice.
You fucked
Is that
up.
because,
Shat.
is that because Calvin Phillips is on the tip top of Villa's fucking target list?
I'll go Coutinho then.
Wow.
Come on, Paul.
Paul.
Pardon?
Who's yours?
He went De Bruyne.
I went De Bruyne.
I thought we weren't allowed to have the same.
Look, Steve, don't be worrying about it. Right? Keep up.
Sorry about that.
Keep up, Steve.
Fucking Paul.
Paul the Lazarazzo.
Right. So if we look ahead to next season, then stats coming to you first.
Yes.
Who do you think? If we look at the under-23s and the impact that they've already had, we've seen Joffrey come in. Towards the end of the season, we've seen Greenwood and so on. Who do you think is going to have the biggest impact out of that 23s over the next couple of seasons?
I'd like to see Somerville. I'd like to see him given a real run in the team. Obviously, we've seen, as you rightly say, there we've seen what Joffrey can do. We know about we know about Greenwood. Had a brilliant game on Sunday. I'd like to see. Obviously, it depends where he's in the pecking order under Jesse Marsh. He was injured to us back into the season, but I thought he showed glimpses this season. Some of what he's capable of. We saw in the reserve game. Was it against Man United? He was unbelievable. So yeah, Somerville for me.
Smarty?
Can Drame play left back?
We'll find out, I guess.
We'll find out, won't we? I suppose we'll see. That'll be interesting to see how the club, sort that little shit out.
Cardiff's play.
What?
Giddy's gone.
Someone get a picture.
Look at his face.
It's a face that goes on forever.
It wasn't me that fucking stalled. It was Gilly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can you passions, Gail?
I thought you were saying that to... here. Go on. Sorry.
Joffrey for me. It's got to be Joffrey. I've really enjoyed watching him play this season. I think he's going to get more of an opportunity next season. I'd like to see him in a number 10 role as well, rather than just, up front on his own.
You think?
We don't know, do we?
We tend to see Greenwood if there's a youth player playing in a team.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be between the three that we've seen more often, this season in it, I suppose. It depends how we recruit and stuff in summer, doesn't it? It's one of them. It's a grey sort of area in it. But who knows? Who knows?
Cool. Luke?
I think because I'm probably going to class Joffrey has already established himself this season. I think the best of the rest is probably... it's going to be between two, and I can't really make my mind up which.
Carl, you're making me seasick.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with this one just because I think he's going to get more opportunity given potential style of play next season and availability and things. So I think Lewis Bates is going to have a massive impact for us over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I think the couple of times we've seen him. The other one that I was going to go for was Greenwood, but I just don't think he's going to hit. I think his opportunity is going to be.
You want to buy some fucking internet? Fucking hell.
You can't get
your 20p's out. Fucking hell.
I'm back.
What's going on?
Did you say Mason Greenwood?
No.
It sounded like it, but you were cutting up at the time.
I said the other one. I think the other one from the best of the rest probably would have been Greenwood because but I think his opportunities are going to be far more limited. We're probably going to improve in that 10 role, and then obviously we're going to have Bamford and Joffrey in front as well. So I just think his time's going to be more limited. Although I think he looked great. He looked great at the weekend. But I think Bates going to get more opportunities over the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think Cresswell probably fits that same sort of mould in as much as I think with opportunities, Cresswell would make an impact on the first team. If you think of the number of centre-backs we've got at the moment, he's going to really find opportunities short
I wouldn't be
supply.
surprised if he goes out in loan.
Yeah.
Him and Yelder, maybe, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. Paul Gale.
Oh dear.
Who's done that? Who do you think, Paul? Sorry, who do you think, Carl?
You spelled Gale fucking Gale wrong, you dickhead. So
Gale Platt is G-A-I.
thank you, Stats. Yeah. So at least you've tried to take
I
piss.
didn't realise this was a Coronation Street fucking pod, but
I didn't either until you started being a dick about it. Like,
that would a bite. That would definitely a bite.
I'll get Coulson on.
Let me just change this.
I'm okay with it. It's fine, lads. Don't worry about
it. All right, man. No, we need to be as accurate as we can because we are professional here. The Otto Bet podcast. There you go.
Professional here. Jesus, let's not start being professional here, Smarty. It got us nowhere previously. Like, you know what I mean? Just left Gilly with a load of editing to do. Fuck that.
Probably get some editing doing. It needs to buy some fucking internet. Yeah, IT, man.
That's fine. I can do that offline.
Fucking dial up over there.
I reckon it's younger on Xbox, you know.
All right.
Streaming 4K content in front room.
Sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 10.
Yeah. It's from Dewsbury.
Yep.
I'd like to see Cresswell get a little bit more action at centre of defence. I know there's going to be Llorente, Cock, Cooper, Struijk, but I think Cresswell has more than proven. He's absolutely bossed Antonio twice in one season. I think that, in my eyes, merits a couple of more starts than he actually got this year as well, and a couple of more appearances. Yeah. So I'd like to see more of that.
He picked up a bit of a knock, didn't he? At one point, when it looked like he were about to get an opportunity as well. So he was a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, it was, to be fair. Like, and another one is I'd like to see Lewis Bate get a good opportunity. He looked solid enough when he came on against West Ham.
Did well against Chelsea.
Did very well against Chelsea, to be fair, and was unlucky to be taken off, I think, you know. But yeah, they're the two that I'd like to see. I think if we lose Raf or Harrison or both, I think it's a big season for Somerville, and he has to step up.
I'm not being funny. If we lose either of them two, we need to replace them with a like for like. We can't.
No, I'm not saying we rely on Somerville, but I'm saying that when we get someone in, it's not that they're not going to be to the caliber of Raf. Because
I don't think even if
you know,
I think if he moves, we don't replace like for like. You look for somebody that's going to have the same sort of impact in the first team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, because to get a
we're not going to be looking for the winger, though, are we?
Sorry, yeah.
That's what I mean. We won't be looking
for some kind of winger. No.
Well, no, but equally, we wouldn't be looking necessarily for the same position because
I mean, you'd be looking for an established winger to come in, you know, like for like, sort of like that. Not.
But that's my point. It might not be a winger. We might go for a Rodrigo De Paul, for instance. You know, I know he's not available and that ship sailed, but that sort of player. Okay, no, that's fair enough. So, what we're going to do next, and we've kind of already done it, is we're going to go with young player and then player of the season. But we've kind of already covered a young player in who we expect to have the impact.
Liam, take your capital lock off, mate. We can see you.
It's really triggering Smarty here tonight, man.
All these people shouting at the comments. Greenwood is a great free kick taker. It's fine. Season's over. We remain in the Premier League. Just
bless him. He's just excited. It's all right.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it. That's cool. So
I'll come round you all for your player of the season then. So putting you on the spot and I'll just try and pad for a little bit so that you can have a little bit of thinking time. But Stats, I'll come to you first. Who's your player of the season?
It's so difficult for where the position we've been in, and we've not been higher than 15th this season. But I think for me, I don't know how I think Rafinha.
Okay, no, that's fair. I mean, I think if you just look at his goals,
yeah,
he's an impact player. He has an impact on every game, and he's been an outlet for us and saved us countless times already this season, hasn't he? So, but yeah, you just look at the amount of goals he's got, and where would they come from if he hadn't been scoring them? I think Jackie's done his fair share of actual scoring goals, but without Raf, we'd have been struggling. Smarty.
He's had his ups and downs, I suppose, over the season, but I think there's an argument for obviously young player season as well. But for me, it's got to be Meslier. My obvious choice would be Rafinha, but I think without Meslier, without him being, I mean, some of the saves he's pulled off this year, Jesus Christ. I think we would have been a hell of a lot worse place if we wouldn't have had someone like him.
Yeah, no, and I think you look at the goal that Newcastle scored and how disappointed we are all were before we let that in, before even that touch, and and making the big mistake afterwards. But it's such a shock when that sort of thing happens with Meslier. You look at the keepers we've had previous, and it was like, well, yeah, that were always going to happen. It was been straight at him, and he's like him. Of course, he has. He plays in net for Leeds, whereas you don't have that sort of fear when there's a free kick when it's Meslier, because more often than not he stands up to it. So no, it's a fair shout. Luke.
I think I agree with both of them. I think Raf has changed games when we've needed changing, although by his standards in comparison to last season, he's probably not been as good if we're realistic. But he has still been our outstanding player. But I'm going to agree with Smarty. I think he's only missed one game all season, if I remember rightly.
I don't think he did. Did he? He came off injured, but then we're ready for the next one, weren't he?
Who did Klaassen play for? What game was that?
Wolves.
He didn't start though, did he, Klaassen? I thought he came on.
He came on, didn't start a game.
Yeah, he didn't start. Mellier's not missed a game. He just went off injured.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I knew he went off. I knew he was injured, but I think simply for his consistency and quite rightly what Smarty says, just that the times he's saved us a lot of points this season, probably just as many as we've won in injury times, through some of his saves and things. So I think if I was going to pick a player of the year, not because I think he's been the best player, but because I think he's probably fulfilled his, he's done exactly what's expected of him, whereas Raf's been quiet in parts. Meslier for me.
Okay, fair. Simon Johnson just chiming in. Has to be Raf, even when he's not been at it offensively. The role he's played out of possession to help the team's underrated. Very hard to come by players that can do both equally as well. That's fair. So a question to you, Luke, on the Raf piece. Yeah. Bearing in mind his role in the team is creativity.
Yeah.
Has that creativity been hampered by the fact that he's not had a regular centre forward to play to?
I don't know if we can say he hasn't had a regular centre forward, because since Marshall's come in, we've played with Joffrey up top most of the time, and Joffrey is a centre forward. So I know Dan James has played up there, Rodrigo's played up there as well. But yeah, I mean, if you look at, if we probably had Bamford fit for the full season, we'd probably not be in this position, and he'd probably had a lot more assists and we'd probably scored a lot more goals. But ultimately, we can only base it on the season that we've had, and that's why I've gone with Meslier. But I think you're right. I think had we had a more sort of prominent focal point up top, then we'd probably be looking at it slightly differently.
Fair enough. Yeah. Gail? Oh, go on! You were answering before they laughed at you.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I genuinely, I was going to always go with Meslier.
Who was the new member on the bottom right?
It was "fuck you, lads" for a little while there until you changed it again. You key bag.
Irish Paul. This guy.
I'm going to go with Meslier. Simply because, like the lads were saying, the saves he made, we could have been a lot further behind without that.
I agree. I agree. And to be fair, I before we got there, in my mind it was Meslier, and I think if I'm right, I think stats went Raf, and everybody else has gone Meslier, and I think that's probably fair. I think Raf, for his goals and his contribution, I think deserves a mention in the running. But for me, I think because he's been so consistent and he's been there every time, I think for me it's Meslier that just shades it.
Just another point.
Just for that little kiss on Dan Jim's head as well.
Yeah. And that struck of his cheek. Oh,
yeah. Just one thing as well, like Raf had a serious dip in form at one point during the season. Meslier didn't have time to have a dip in form, so that's essentially why Meslier gets it from me as well. Like, because there was other players around Raf that could pick up the slack if he was out, if he wasn't in good form.
Well, there wasn't, but
there wasn't. But you know what I mean. Like, but there isn't anyone that can get Meslier out of bad form. So
I think the sentiment, everyone's leaning towards Raf because of that last game, and we think he's leaving, and he did have a great performance, and he turned it on toward the end of the season. But as you quite rightly say, there was parts in the season when he did go missing, unfortunately, in games where we needed him, and ironically, that's when Rodrigo stepped up and played quite well.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Russ is asking there one question for the panel tonight: thoughts on Click this season?
Been hit and miss, hasn't he? But I think towards the end of the season, he's finished strongly or stronger.
Yeah, agree with that.
I think he really relished that deeper role, to be honest. It surprised me because he'd always been deployed further forward. And I think in the 4-1-4-1, we've said a few times that if you just watch the game, you kind of miss his contribution. But if you watch him, you see the entire game. And I think that's still true to a certain extent, although his impact has been less this season than previous seasons.
Steady, Liam.
Liam, look,
back to your old ways there, mate.
He only shouted the one word out of that one.
But Click was Click was an international player for Poland while we were in the championship. To say he's not a Premier League player I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think he's earned the right to be there, and he's proven time and time again that he is.
Well, he literally is a Premier League player.
But you know what I mean. The sentence isn't said in that kind of. I mean,
it's like Smarter calling Cooper League with Liam, innit?
He hasn't had a. I
don't think I ever called him that, boy.
He's never. Click hasn't had a long enough run in the team this season. We've had Forshaw in there, we've had Bate in there, we've gone with one pivot, we've had Rodrigo in there. He's not probably. I wouldn't even like to know how many minutes he's played in comparison to the likes of other players. But even when Calvin were out, we expected somebody to come in and do Calvin's job, and Click isn't Calvin. No disrespect, but he's not Calvin Phillips. So he's a solid player. He's a solid backup player. He's not. He's not somebody that we need to rely on moving forward. He's somebody who can come on and do a particular job for us. He's not going to win us that many games, but he'll do a job for us.
Yeah. I agree, and I love the shithousery in him. I absolutely adore it. It's brilliant.
He was mad for it at Wolves as well, and even at Brentford, when the full-time whistle went, he was over there was a video of him and Cock over shushing the Brentford fans as well, so that was quite nice.
All young lads, that's another point. Over to celebrate, didn't they? They all young sub lads like Gray and a few others were all ran over, and then they were fucking giving it all that.
Yeah.
When they were walking back.
There's a few videos online,
But more back to Luke's point around him. You also look at the players he's had behind him in that Calvin role, and he's had Struijk there, he's had Koch there, and to be the best will in the world, they're not midfielders. So he's ended up trying to do 1.5, 2 people's jobs in the middle of the park, but he's playing against Premier League midfielders. It's difficult enough doing one person's job, not trying to cover others. So I think that I think the point about him getting stick for not very much is he's quite harsh on him.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think he's he has been very reliable for us for the last 4 seasons now.
Yeah,
he was Mr. Consistent in our first season back in the Premier League and the 2 seasons previous when he under Bielsa. So in the Championship. So it's hard to knock him. Like, there's you can sometimes do it to players when they kind of really hit a shit patch of form or whatever, but he never really does. Like we've said on here quite a few times, when you watch Click, you watch what he does and how much he does rather than just watching the game. There's the Brentford are complaining about having their lap of honour delayed. Are they actually complaining to the FA?
Really?
Are they?
No, they're not. They're not complaining. I think they were just a bit peeved. I think the fans were booing that Leeds kept the Leeds. Obviously, Leeds celebrating at the end.
Minus 4 points, relegation. Announce it.
I mean,
3 points even.
Brilliant.
I am sad about this. I thought no. Just on this one, obviously this is current news on Nohan Kenna. He's been playing really, really well for the 23s, and now obviously he's been given an opportunity. He's probably going to be playing first team football up in Scotland, which is probably the equivalent to what that shows in maybe League One Championship level, apart from the two outstanding sides.
Apart from top two, probably League One.
So he's given an opportunity to play first team football. Good on him for going there. I hope he makes some of it. But there was quite a lot of talk about Nohan Kenny and the potential that he's got, because he can play the CDM, centre midfield or centre back. And look, I think it is sad that we've lost him. But when you look at the positions he can play, where he doesn't probably see that pathway to the first team. So
yeah. Hi guys, just got on, so missed the early stuff. This is from Chris Thompson. Question: would you say Rodrigo didn't celebrate the second goal because he thought he was obstructing the keeper, again in brackets? Get rid anyway, in my opinion. MOT, what do you reckon? We'll go with the first part of that question first. Do you think that's why he didn't celebrate?
It's a massive relief, wasn't it? I think they were all like.
I think he was very conscious of where he was.
Yeah. I think it was very close. Been offside.
Like, it was.
Yeah.
He was off.
Yeah.
He was off. He would have been if he'd have been active. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to react. Didn't want to be in the situation at all, just in case.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered if they had been caught offside, because the game was done. But they got a point instead in the Premier League anyway. Just added the icing on the cake. So.
But as it was, we finished 3 points clear, and it was never in doubt.
Good. Bremner's Ghost makes a good point there, to be fair. Thank fuck it hit the defender's studs.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what took it in bottom corner.
Yeah. Rodrigo wouldn't have been classed as obstructing the keeper in that sense. So, yeah, that's a good point.
It's still offside,
still been offside, because he was offside at the point at which, he was offside at the point at which he kicked it forward, so he would have still been offside.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Fuck it.
But he made everything.
Genuinely just
Alex.
Fuck it.
Fuck you, pass.
Yeah, it only makes a difference if it's played backwards by the Leeds player and then went forwards as a Brentford player. It would still have been offside. So I mean, in terms of the talking points and so on, I'm done. Anybody got anything that they wanted to mention?
Just one thing from me.
Is it an Otto bitter rant?
It's a nice point. This 3 weeks on Thursday, 9 a.m. June the 16th. Fixtures.
Yo. We're not going to Cardiff on a Tuesday night, boys.
Well, you get to Bournemouth instead.
I've got a question for you.
Who do you want first?
Sorry
just on the fixtures. Who do you want first? Not Forest.
I would just look to that past that. Yeah.
Forest. Yeah, Forest at home.
Yeah.
Sorry, Smarty. What did you want to ask?
No, mate. That was literally what we're going to say. Same thing.
Pissed on his chips, man.
Fucking.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine. You're the host.
Yeah. You finally had some input, and I took it off you.
No. I stole one of your questions, so it's only fair. I put a tweet.
Are you saying Forest, yeah?
Oh, me.
Forest over but Doug Botherers or the Scabs, definitely the Scabs all day.
And is this the first West Yorkshire derby in the top flight? How long has it been since?
Not if it's Forest.
They're not up yet.
No, if Huddersfield go up, how long has it been since a West Yorkshire derby in the top flight?
2001 Leeds Bradford.
Fucking.
Didn't Hull play
that
them,
was-
did
There you go.
Honestly.
Fucking forgot about Bradford.
You should be
That's
a
so
stat man, you.
significant
You
there.
know quite a lot about football, Andrew. You should be some
Did
sort
you
of
say
stat-
Hull?
No,
yeah, the Yorkshire
Bradford.
Derby.
What the fuck have I just done?
Which
Well,
county is Hull in?
East Yorkshire, innit?
East Yorkshire.
You said West Yorkshire Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Yorkshire. I thought you said Yorkshire Derby.
But that would have been last season against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
There's some real bad geography
Anyway.
going off here.
West
West Yorkshire versus Borough.
Borough's in bloody Teesside.
Honestly. It was another one of them. I put a tweet out today that said, I saw that your mate Stats. Lewis put up a tweet about feel like the majority of Leeds fans would like Huddersfield up, and I just went, it's a tough one. It is a tough one to choose, to be fair, because I don't really know which one I'd rather have. It's like choosing between. It's like asking the McCanns to babysit my kids while I go for my checkup with Dr. Shipman. And I tweeted that this afternoon because I would
plenty of mentions for
rather...
Mr. Shipman tonight, aren't there?
What?
He's had a couple
I
of
know.
mentions.
I'll tell you honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I've read his book.
Of course you have.
I don't think he's got a book, but yeah, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather stand on many plugs than
Did anybody hear the commentary from? I've forgotten who it was, but he mentioned anyway about something about South Yorkshire and Leeds being in South Yorkshire. Did anyone hear it?
No.
Want a BT Sports guy, want it? Because they're always factually on the ball. Them guys
I don't know who it was. I cannot remember.
Or talk shite.
talk shit, yeah. With
I
blabby.
can't remember who it was,
fucking
but
whatever the fuck
it
he's
was
called.
about something about South Yorkshire.
Right? No, didn't hear it. Anyone watch the Eddie Gray interview on, or listen to the Eddie Gray interview on?
Yes.
Talksport?
I heard a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to the
I'll
whole
listen
thing
to it.
yet, like, but
Well, Laura Wood's on.
no, it wasn't. It was Simon Jordan and
I like
the
Simon Jordan.
guy who looks like a villain.
I
from
think
the-
I'm one of very few people who
Bond
like
films.
Simon Jordan.
I like Simon Jordan.
I like Simon Jordan. He's
I
all
do.
right.
I think
He puts Jim White in his
He's a
fucking
fucking
place. And
Tory.
that's good.
That's what Gilly will be saying next. He's a Tory or something like that.
He is absolute Tory. Can get him beat.
Anyway,
Right, I
before we
think
go
we're
on,
just about done, aren't we? Christ,
Yeah.
an hour and
Yes.
a quarter.
Can I just
We've done
say,
enough.
Can I just say, fuck Villa fans, fuck Aston Villa, fuck anyone who would change in the state saying, no, we're all Villa, aren't we? And up the Villa and all that fucking shit. You're a set of wankers and all. But fuck Villa. I don't know who they think they are, right? But all of a sudden, the audacity of finishing in fucking 14th place or whatever, they think they're just going to, oh, well, Calvin Phillips is right at the top of our transfer target list this year, and we're just going to take him off you. How does fuck right off sound, you stupid fucking entitled wankers? Eat shit.
And on that note, Gilly.
And on that note, thanks everybody for joining us.
See you
Thanks
next Premier
everybody in
League.
the comments. Peace out.
See you next season.
Bonjour.